What's going on, guys? It's your boy Chris here, doing a quick update as I promised last night. Uh, like I said, it's been a little bit since I've done a video. I got married a couple weeks ago, so I took some time to kind of be with the wife. We went on a little mini honeymoon last week. That was cool, and now I'm back. So back to the normal schedule here. Um, Not gonna do too many things in this one. I'm just gonna touch on a couple of quick topics. Um, One I want to touch on is the whole Ezra Miller thing. Just to kind of delve into that a little bit because I'm seeing a lot of people who were kind of calling for like him to get help, and while because apparently something's going on in his personal life, and while I'm sympathetic to that, and I understand that whatever he's going through, there's like some sort of grieving he's doing. It doesn't give you the green light to go on a fucking crime spree. Um, Clearly he needs help, and I mean that's the most obvious thing that can be said about this. He needs help. He needs to get that help, and if people are out there that care about him, be it an agent, his people, his family, whoever can reach him, someone needs to kind of make those attempts to do that before something really bad happens. Because he's been arrested multiple times at this point. And this last incident, he busted somebody with a fucking chair. So, I mean, it's escalating worse and worse as it goes on. There's going to come a breaking point where something bad's going to happen or could potentially happen. I mean, you have to get him maybe into a facility to get him help. I don't know what that does or if that's even possible given that they're wherever they are and he's in Hawaii. I don't know what they can do. But someone needs to forget that this dude before he does something worse. Those are my thoughts on that whole situation from the Ezra Miller as a person standpoint. I hope he gets the help he needs, obviously. This is like it seems like it's a massive cry for help. I hope someone does hear him and get him that help before something bad happens. From the business standpoint for Warner Brothers slash Discovery, you cannot put this man out there to hype a movie, to do press right now. You can't put him out in the public eye right now. If I'm them, in all honesty, given the severity of what he's done, like, because this last one was assault. It's a very serious charge. It has very serious consequences. Given what happened here, I would honestly consider removing him from the Flash film. Yes, I get that that would be very difficult. Yes, I understand that that would be something that would be very hard to do. But you can't have this guy continuing in this role right now. It's not good for him. It's not good for him. It's not good for his career or what's left of his career, if anything can be salvaged after this. This kid is self destructing. And I say that because I know there's a whole non binary they them thing. And I'm going to use his pronouns from here on out. I don't know if I did earlier or if I didn't. I'm sorry. I'm not trying to disrespect that whole thing. But they're clearly self-destructing, and as a studio you have to look out for your bottom line. Is it cold? Yes. Is it cruel? Possibly. But they have a business to run. They just got in. Discovery just got there, so there's probably going to be a lot of people who are going to have like there's going to be a bloodletting at some point, and he's going to be one of those. He's got to be one of those casualties at this point. You can't have him promoting a movie for you when you don't know what he's gonna fucking do next. So, from a business standpoint, they have to make that move. They just have to. They don't have a choice in the matter. After the first incident, I was like, okay, this dude needs help. After the second one, it's like, okay, you can't put this guy out there. Personal demons or whatever he's going through or not. You can be sympathetic to his situation, you can be understanding, but you can't move forward with him in this role. Not because it's clearly affecting him. Like it's part of what's affecting him, it seems like, and he whatever's going on in his life, he's got to get that fixed first, and you can't have him hyping a movie for you while that's going on. So that's where I'm coming from on that, from a strictly business standpoint. Like, personally, I hope he gets better. I mean, we've seen it with Robert Downey Jr. He was going through his own battles with his demons, and he got better, and look at what he's done since. Like, he got better, and we finally saw, like, the potential he had coming up as an actor realized. He's one of the biggest stars in Hollywood. The MCU was built off of his Iron Man films. So he was the one that got that kicked off. He's the one that got all this kind of kicked off on that level to where it is now. So that's what I think about that one. Which leads me to the next one, which is the Johnny Depp Amber Heard situation. As someone who's been in Johnny Depp's shoes, and by that I mean a relationship where it was somewhat abusive, where the person would flip out, and it was hard to deal with. And it can be very difficult to deal with that situation. It can be very difficult to be in those shoes. To me, it's a slam dunk. She admitted she hit him on tape. Like, she admitted it. Like, has not come off as abusive in anything that I've heard. From the little bit of the trial I've been able to catch. Even, like, people were using he slammed a cabinet. Okay. I've gotten into arguments in relationships where I've punched walls. It didn't hit the other person. That means you're directing it to something else other than the person that you may be angry at. Like, if he didn't hit her, then he didn't hit her. The goal of this whole thing, or the point of this whole deal, is she's claiming he abused her. That video shows he didn't strike her. Does it mean he's completely innocent? No, not necessarily, but it shows that he was able to direct his violence towards something else other than her. Whereas she admittedly hit him, on tape says, I hit you. I didn't punch you. And he's like, don't tell me what it's like to be punched. Like, it's right there. So it's right there. So I don't know what else y'all need on that. So again, back to the whole Warner Brothers thing, Discovery thing. Amber Heard should not be in Aquaman 2. They should have let her go after the first bit of this happened. They should have never kept her after that tape came out the first time. Straight up. That's how you deal with that. You let the person go. You fire them. I remember a job I was working at where, like, guy was messing with two girls that worked there. I guess one of them, I don't know if they knew about each other or not, but something came up at work, and he hit one of these girls. And everybody was kind of like in shock. Like, he's a good dude. He was a good dude, but he flipped the fuck out. Obviously he lost his job. You know, that's on the workplace. Like, you can't fucking do that. So he got fired. Like, people pulled her away. People pulled him aside. Like, people like, oh shit, dude, you done fucked up. You know, like, it was just bad. Um, I I don't know, but real talk. I mean, you can't just because you're mad at somebody, you can't hit them. Like, that's a lesson that we get taught as kids. That's a lesson that we get taught. It's a lesson that you learn throughout your life. You can't just hit somebody because you're angry at them. You also can't poop in their bed, which that's fucking nasty. I just want to touch on that part of this too, because that came up during the trial, and it's like, that's just fucking gross. Okay, like, she's shit in his bed, in their bed, on his side of the bed. That's just fucking nasty. All right, that's fucking gross. Like, that's nasty. Like, who does that? That's gross. Ew. Like, me. And an ending on gross. Want to touch on some sports stuff for a little bit here. Real quick, there was an incident that happened at the Cleveland Indians or Yankees game yesterday, where Yankees fans decided to like act a fucking fool. Gross behavior, throwing beer cans on the field at Indians players, laughing and cheering at a guy getting hurt. One of the Indians players took umbrage with it. After the game ended, they started throwing shit on the field to the point where Yankees players got out there like, hey, like, stop. What the fuck are y'all doing? Stop. Credit to Giancarlo Stanton and Aaron Judge for going out there to try to stop that shit. That's classy on their part to go out there and try to end that. Hopefully we'll see Aaron Judge in right field for the Orioles next season when he hits free agency. Because I would love to see that big dude hitting bombs in Camden Yards. Speaking of which, I gotta talk about my O's real quick. They're 6-9 right now. 3 games under 500. But the biggest surprise for the team is the pitching staff without their ace, John Means, who just announced he had to have Tommy John surgery. Get well soon, John. We hope to see you back in the yard in 2023 and probably mid-season at the earliest, 2024 at the latest if everything goes well. We're rooting for you, man. We need you. So get well soon, heal up as best you can, get ready to let's get back at it next year or whenever you can. It's good that he decided to have it now instead of trying to rehab it and stuff, because that just prolongs everything longer. So he did the right thing. He made the right move by announcing he's going to have the surgery now. It gives him more of a timetable to get better. But like I said, the pitching staff is one of the best in the American League and one of the best in the majors right now. Without him, who saw that shit coming? Being led really by local product, Bruce Zimmerman, who for 15 innings didn't give up any type of runs. He gave his first run the other day. It was like, damn. But he was on a fucking tear, and he's still pitching his ass off. The pitching staff's been great. The starting rotation's been holding together strong. The bullpen's been doing their thing. Got one of the best bullpens in the game right now. If the bats ever wake up and start hitting, and guys start hitting like they can potentially hit, this team could win. There's hope because there's guys in the minor leagues who are knocking on the door too. You got Grayson Rodriguez, who every time he goes out there, he looks like he's ready to fucking pitch in Camden Yards now. You got Kyle Bradish looking like he's ready to go. You got some of these hitters, Kyle Stowers, Robert Newstrom, all these hitters ready to coming up. Adley's getting healthy. Adley Richmond's getting healthy. He's progressing really well. He might be ready to come up soon too. Once these guys get here, they take over rotation spots from guys who don't need to be in the rotation. You can move those guy pieces around, put guys in the bullpen. Let's re-strengthen that. And you've got just a nasty bit of pitching coming up. And if these guys come up, you can trade some guys, put these guys in those spots, and let's see what we can do. There's potential here. There's potential and there's hope for the Orioles for the first time in a couple years. And that's something for a while we did not have. But there's hope on the way. Help is on the way, as the song goes. So yeah, this is the video I promised I would do. I want to touch on a couple things real quick. To answer the question about married life, it's not much different than it was when I was not married. We've been together for 8 years prior, so we basically already married anyway, and nothing has changed. I mean, for me, it feels a little bit different just because I've got the ring on my finger, and it feels different for me. Like, this is her second marriage, so it's a little bit of a different situation. But for me, it's my first, so it means something. So everybody who like sent out congratulations either on Facebook or Twitter, or reached out via text or called, thank you. It meant a lot. Uh, to my family has basically embraced her as like another daughter, so that's really cool. My friends have embraced her as another extension of me, and just everybody who sent that type of love and stuff like that, I appreciate that. Um, I'm gonna do another video coming up in the next couple days about. I'm gonna hit on some of the stuff that's been in the news of late, and in particular, like some of the stuff that's come out about January 6th and all that, and some of the stuff that's come out of that, because there's a lot, and I don't want to waste Sunday doing that. I want to do that during the week when I've had time to really read everything and catch up on it. I will be touching up on Margie Taylor. I will be touching on the Margie Taylor Greene thing for sure, because that hearing was insane. And there was a lot that happened there. It was fucking crazy, and literally there's going to be ramifications coming out of that we're going to see probably soon. And then some other stuff that's come out too. It's just fucking craziness. So that's all coming next week. For now, this is what I want to touch on. Again, I want to shout out all my people out there. Break the Gap, Wrestling Soup, Kevin Castle, Don Tony, RBR, Bob Seska, Buzz Burbank, Jody Hamilton, T-Rex, the people who inspired me to do this, Solar Monster, Chris Van Vliet, Jim Cornette, Mark Maron, Joe Rogan. It's all these people got inspired me to do this. Even some old school radio guys like Opie and Anthony, Howard Stern, Don and Mike, Kirk, Mark, and Lopez. I wouldn't be using my voice in this way or trying to do this if it wasn't for them. So I want to shout those people out in particular, because I grew up on radio. I grew up listening to the morning drive radio, just loving it. Got into more like serious stuff through Ed Norris and his show, Ed Norris, another one, former Baltimore City Police Commissioner. He was the guy who was in when my brother first got his badge. So he went to in the radio too. He's still doing it, going strong. But much love to them. Big O and Dukes as well. Shout out to those guys. So I want to shout all those guys out who were inspired me to do this. If I left anybody out, I'm sorry. Other people, Drew Yari, uh, Gardner Doom. Um, there's so many people out there who are doing this. They got me wanting to do it. So many people, and there's some of them I've gone to and just asked advice, and they've given it with like no problem. Bruce Cunningham, who just retired at Fox 45 here in Baltimore. I remember hitting him up for advice on something when I was in communications for journalism, and I just hit him up about a question, and he responded back, and I didn't expect him to get back right away, but he did, and he gave me the best advice you could give somebody in my shoes, and I appreciate that. I've never forgotten that advice, by the way. So that meant the world to me. Troy Johnson, formerly of 92Q, was also at 1057 when they were talk radio. Met him. He was super cool. Uh, I had just given an opinion on something on Facebook, and he interviewed me for his show, and it was really cool to meet him. He was super cool, super chill. He's out and doing his thing on local news somewhere else. Can't remember where he's at, but I know he's doing well, and I'm glad to see that. So, like I said, I wanted it to not. I wanted to be. I didn't want to leave that stuff unsaid about who inspired me or who's been cool to me along my road to getting to the point where I actually had the courage to do this finally. So I want to shout all them out as well. So much love to all those shows, all those people I mentioned. Like I said, you inspired me to use my voice, and I cannot thank you enough for that. These words I'm saying here will never fully articulate what that means. So, thank you. Anyway, to everybody who watches these, thank you. I appreciate it. I appreciate you. By all means, like, if you like what you're hearing, share it with people. Like I said, I joked about it on Facebook, on Twitter, about the six of you that do watch this. Share the videos, man. Put it out there. See if other people like it. You have my permission to share this. You can share my videos. You can put my thoughts out there. You have my permission. The only thing I ask you to do is get the people you share it with to subscribe. Like I said, I'm not doing this to get make money. I'm doing it because it's fun for me. If at some point that does happen, I'm not gonna say no to it. Obviously, I'm not gonna say like no. I'm not gonna. I don't want to make anything. But for right now, I'm doing this for just the fun. I'm having fun doing these. I enjoy doing it, and as long as I'm doing it, as long as y'all are watching this, as long as you give a shit, I'll be here. Like the day y'all say we don't give a fuck what you have to say, I will stop. But for now, that hadn't happened. So thank you. Uh, Again, take care of yourselves, take care of each other. Uh, Peace.